All right, here's the solution for question number 9 on in the review for S8. It's got Miss Nelson's two classes here. She wants to find out whether one class was better than the other. So because we're trying to see which class is better, it's going to be a one-tailed t-test. Okay, so I hope you've printed out or at least have access to the calculator instructions that are in Canvas here. So write down the null hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis. So the null hypothesis says that there is no difference between Miss Nelson's grade 12 history class between the two classes. The alternative hypothesis says the grades from Miss Nelson's period 1 are greater than the grades from period 2. Now, if you wrote less than rather than greater than, I'd give you full credit for that. As far as I can tell, the alternative just says that one of them is greater than or less than. Okay. The null hypothesis says there is no difference. Okay. So that's part A. Part B is state whether this is a one-tailed test or a two-tailed test. And in my opinion, it's one-tailed because we're asking which class is better. If it's two-tailed, that we're asking, is there a difference between the two? And I don't know, I guess you could argue either way on this one, but I'm just going to pretend that it says that it's one-tailed test. The answer to the back of the book talks about the size of apples, which has nothing to do with this class. So there is no, I don't have an official answer key for this. So let's just do this as if it's one-tailed t-test. Okay, find the value. So in order to do this, you get out your calculator, and I'm going to follow the instructions on this sheet here, t-test example 8. So when we're following these instructions, I have to press stat, and then notice how it says edit enter. I'm going to hit enter, and so first thing I do is I hit, I arrow up to the top and I hit clear, not delete. I hit clear and then enter, and I go over here and I hit clear and enter, and that clears the stuff. And now I'm going to enter the data that's in the book. Okay, so the data that's in the book here is okay, so 79, enter, 63, enter, 42, enter, 88, 95, 57, 73, 61, 82, 76, 51, 48. Okay, now enter the other column, 65, 78, 85, 49, 59, 91, 68, 74, 82, 56. Okay, good. I've entered everything in correctly, I believe. Okay, so now that it's all entered in, I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna follow these instructions. So for a one-tailed test, hit stat again. I'm gonna arrow over to where it says test. So I'm gonna arrow over twice to where it says test. And now I'm gonna select either 4 or arrow down to 4 where it says to SAMP t-test. So I hit enter. And then now if it's one-tailed, then down here I have to choose this second one here. So I arrow down to where, see how it's blinking right here? This is when you do it one-tailed. If it's two-tailed, then I have to arrow over to here and hit enter. But since I'm going to do this with a one-tailed test, I'm going to go over here and I hit enter, so this one here is highlighted. Now in order to do the calculation, I have to arrow down to where it says calculate. If you don't arrow down to calculate, it won't do the work. So now I'm down, I calculate and hit enter, and now it's calculated the t-test for me. So now I've got, because we're asked to find the t value and the p-value. So the t-value is equal to negative 0.421, and the p-value is equal to 0.339 3 sig figs. Okay, and right, and then I look at my sheet here, and if the p-value is less than 0.5, then we would not accept the null hypothesis. So is this less than 0.5? Yes. So this value is less than 0. No. My mistake. This value here is greater than 0.05, isn't it? So since it's greater than, we accept the null hypothesis, and since we accept the null hypothesis, that means there is no difference between the two classes. Okay, so now if this value had been less than 0.05, then we would not accept the null hypothesis. So because this is greater than 0.05, we do accept the null hypothesis. And that's number 9.